Hey guys, Shane here, Fugatech 3D Printing. Today we're going to look at H&H 3D Plastics Gray PLA. Welcome back guys. Like I said, we're going to look at H&H 3D Plastics Gray PLA. This is a made in USA filament, and I contacted them a while back. Said, hey guys, I'm just starting out. Would you guys like to send me some filament? They said sure. So sure enough, some Gray PLA showed up, and I'm gonna review it ish, you know, print with it, see how it works, stuff like that. So H&H is a pretty cool little company. They started out really small in like a garage. I think now they have like a little shop. There's a cool video which I hope you'll be able to find it. I'll put a link for it down below on kind of how they started up and got into, you know, the 3D printing and making their own filament. And again, like I said, they make it in the USA, which is great. So let's pop this open and see how it is. I will say first off, this is a very interesting bag. I don't know if you can, it's really, because it's not really clear. It's almost like it's a reinforced bag, which is different. And I almost expected to see like a little like pull tab here to like slice it open, but that's not the case. Oh yeah, it's textured inside. That's very interesting. I haven't had a bag like that before. Here it is. And they have the classic, I'm going to call this the USA spool, because this is what, you know, half of the different companies that I have use this spool. It's a great spool, it's a great design, but it looks so similar to what everyone else is using. Silica packet in there, it's a paper silica desiccant packet. And here it is. So right here on the front, there's H&H3dplastics.com. It's PLA 1.75 gray, 1 kilogram. It gives you the part number and another number underneath. Made in the US freaking A. And a QR code. So let me whip out my phone and see what that actually does. Don't know. Open link. See what happens. Okay, so this little QR code takes you to their, looks like just their product page. We can click on PLA. I kind of expected it to be honed in to the Gray PLA. I think some other filaments have had it. This is the first time I'm trying it because I downloaded a QR reader. We can go to their Gray, and it gives us the information here, so we can read off some of the information from here, which is great. It's 1 kilogram, made in USA. Recommended extrusion temperature 190 to 220, so basic PLA settings. Thoroughly dried, vacuum sealed with desiccant. It's a spool diameter of 8 inches. The spool arbor is 2 inches, which is interesting to give you those facts. There's actually a drawing on here, a technical drawing of the spool. Not sure why, but hey, that's cool stuff, guys. Compatible with 3D printers that accept 1.75. So there's nothing, this is not any type of special PLA, anything like that. It's a regular, their general brand of PLA. It sells for $20.99 on their website, according to that. It is very, very tightly wound here on the spool, and I'm actually going to give this a snip. Give this a cut. Let's see how that looks here. Got that little dog-eared one. Yeah, it's super, super tightly wound. I mean, granted, most of them are, but it just kind of felt like almost it was stuck together, is what it felt like, but it's not at all. It's a pretty decent wind. You know, it's not the straightest wind, but it's also not bad at all. It's mostly straight, solid spool. That's it. So this is H&H 3D Plastics Gray PLA. That's the 4th time I've said that now. It's stupid. So yeah, so let's put this on the printers. We'll print some on the FT5, maybe some on the G-Tech, and let's see how it prints out. So let's go with some time lapses. Okay, let's take a look at these prints now. So first up, we have this little catapult model, and this print is one piece, and it came out pretty well. The bottom, I was a little far away, so my bottom layer was has a little separation in it, but that's okay. This model really isn't meant to be printed in PLA, but I wanted to see how would PLA perform in this matter, because PLA can be very brittle and it's very, it's very rigid. ABS, you might be able to get away with this, but PETG would be perfect for this kind of thing. So you just push down the back, you put a projectile in there, you grab a hold of the little lever that's in there. Bam! I mean, that went, what, 10 feet, 12 feet? It's not a bad little thing. So again, I just wanted to see how this PLA would perform in this use. Again, it's not really needed for this, so actually there is a little bit of splitting here in the arm, just a wee little bit, but it bends pretty well. I mean, consistently. You have to leave it up, because if you leave it down, it will eventually stay that way and you'll go to release and it won't go anywhere. But hey, I mean, it's a nifty little print. My kids like it, so I like it. I'm a kid, that's why. So anyways, up next is this crazy fidgety thing. So this, spins that way, and it spins that way. So that's all fine and dandy. It was actually a little, I don't want to say it was hard to print. This definitely isn't the easiest print to do. So you have to print it on a raft. You have to print it like this, so on its side. And the issue is that the balls are lower when they're printed. They are wider than any of these rings are. So the balls hit first. And printing the balls on the raft is not ideal. And printing this on a raft, maybe I just don't have support settings right to print something like this, I'm guessing. So you can see here's the bottom side. You can see, again, a little bit far away from the nozzle from the bed, that's okay. But if you look at the balls, let's see if that one right there, you can see they're not really that great. And maybe because it's PLA, maybe it's my settings on printing on a raft with all that support. Again, the bottom layers, none of them are really that great on top of the raft and the supports, but top layers are really nice. Nice solid top layers. A few gaps here and there, but that's nothing to worry about. That's more my settings, that's not really the filament. But again, I mean, it spins that way, spin it this way. I don't really consider this a fidgety thing, but that's what it was on Thingiverse. I just saw it pop up, so I figured I would try it out. But it came out okay. Speaking of fidgets, I did make one of these. So again, found this on Thingiverse, and I just printed these. These are out of, what is this? Maker Geek's Blue PLA. I think it's like their ice, Glacier Blue, I think is what it's called, Glacier Blue PLA. It's kind of a transparent blue. And this was the first attempt for this, so there's the top layer. Actually, this is the top layer. This is the bottom layer. And it works just like it should. These are using 608 ZZ bearings. The enclosed ones. You can get unenclosed ones. I think they're just 608Zs. I don't really know, but they look cooler because you can see the ball bearings inside. But you can put caps on all these. You don't have to though. But this came out really nice. It didn't split. I've had some of these split before when I pushed in, so the model was good and the filament could take the stress. But yeah, it's not a bad, fun little toy. My kids really like these, so that's why I like printing them. Again, I'm a big kid. Speaking of kid stuff, thwomp. So these is a wicked cool model. As you can see, the top, I did not do a high enough infill. So there is a few open areas under the eyebrows, a few down here on the lower parts in here. I did this with 10% infill on fast honeycomb. I should have done 20%. I just didn't want to waste the filament on something small like this, but I definitely should have gone higher or gone rectilinear. I personally like fast honeycomb though. It looks cool. Bottom layer is fantastic on this. It laid down perfectly. The sides on all of these are nice. But yeah, like I said, it's just, this is 3 or 4 top layers, but again, it just wasn't enough because there's just these holes around there. But this is really cool. So a lot of people actually print this model, make a silicone mold of it, pour concrete in the silicone mold, and then make these as like, what are those, garden stepping stone type deals. This is super cool. But this is like 10,000% of the model. Like, the model is tiny. but I had to scale it up 10 or maybe it's 15,000%. It was something stupid, but this was a really tiny model. But hey, this is a fun print. I'd like to print this out super big with a filament one day, and I definitely need to up my infill and do 1 or 2 more top layers, but it's really cool. And a Malkin, psych. This failed because I was printing this at 215 degrees centigrade, and it looked great, but it looked like it was printing a little too hot. So I decided to turn it down to 205, and it clogged. So at the speed I was printing at 205, not acceptable. And if I left it at 215, we get this. This is my first, not my first fully successful one. I did print this in wood, but this is my first doggone nice Millennium Falcon. Millennium Falcon, as it is on Thingiverse, because it can't be a Millennium Falcon. So the underside, the guns, this prints like this with no support, which is pretty cool. You can see there's one little string under here, and on this side, ooh, where are we at? Right there, there's another little string on there. The bottom sides here came out really, really nice. Can't complain about any of that. Again, it printed just like this, 0 supports. So all of these, all the landing gear prints just like that. The guns print like that, top and the bottom. This is a different version because you see here it has this smaller dish on it. It doesn't have the full satellite. I believe this is the one that it had on it for episode 7, and in the original trilogy 4, 5, and 6 it had the circle dish on it. Now up here there's a little bit of this artifacting, almost like a Z-wobble, and I don't know what it's from. I don't think it's the printer. It's definitely not the filament, so it obviously has to be my printer. But it just got really weird up here at the top. I don't know what that was about. But anyways, I mean, the cockpit came out perfect. Get on that focus there. You know, right here in the front, that all came out really nice. So hey, this printed out, in my opinion, excellent, 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 excellent. I would love to scale this up and print it in this filament because it's a good color. And it just, I mean, look at the shine on that. Look at the finish. This is just a really, really nice print, and the filament actually is really nice. Prints like butter. Last print, some people are probably gonna get mad at me, but I printed this, I believe this is a 1911 Colt replica, and it just, I've been wanting to print this for a long time on the FD5 because it doesn't fit on my G-Tech unless I scale it down, and I didn't want to scale it down because I just like how big it is. It fits my hand perfectly. Let's back up a little bit more. There we go. Fits my hand real nice. So I mean, you can see all the details, all the lettering that's in it, all the writing on there. The grip feels great. All the screws, the safeties, the slide release, safety slide release, the mag release here, the hammer guard. I mean, it all is just really nice. So it printed well, and actually prints like this. So this is how the model is oriented, and there is custom support that goes into this that someone made via Mesh Mixer. So the layers are this way, which is really, really strange to watch this come out. But if we look at the bottom, here you can see where all of the custom supports meet the print. So all those dots, and I was able to take an X-Acto knife and a pair of flush cutters, and they're fairly smooth, but you can really see them, and you can really see. So these 3 points here had a crazy mix of like 5 different supports come up and spread out to make the area for these to print onto, and it printed okay. I don't really know how to make that better, printing on supports and things like that, how to, you know, really deal with that. It's not about orientation because it's like this. There's no other way to orientate this print. It is like this. I mean, even this came out well, but just these few bottoms here, it just didn't. And this is printed at 0.2 with 10% infill, which is what was recommended on the Thingiverse page. Again, you can see them down here too, on the bottom of the mag. But this was just a cool print. Again, if you don't like guns, I'm sorry. I like them. I think this is cool. And you can even see the barrel. Not really, you can't, but the barrel prints down probably until about here, and then it goes flush. If I had a 10 or something nearby. I could throw that in there and look at it, but I mean, it's a good several, probably 4 inches in there, which is pretty cool. So again, this print's really, really nice. I like it. And now I have my first gun prop. Might paint it one day if I ever learn how to paint properly, but for now, it's just cool looking. So what I think about the filament, I think it prints great. It prints super easy. I mean, it is like a regular PLA that prints the first time around. I printed at 215 degrees centigrade for all of these. My infills varied from, this was at 20%, again 10% for this, 10% for the 1911. This was printed at 20%. The thingy, the fidget, I should say, not thingy, I printed this a little bit higher to give a little more weight to it. That helps it spin a little better. So this was printed at 40% and 10 or 20% on this here. But you can see, I mean, I like it. I like using the honeycomb. It looks nice. And it makes a nice strong print. So like, there's no harm in that. Again, it's not like I'm wasting filament. I got it for nothing, so might as well print with it and see how it turns out. So yeah, this is H&H 3D Gray PLA. It printed like butter. I can't say anything bad about it. I had no issues except for when I turned down my temperature, I had this happen. So I use a E3D V6 with a Titan extruder. And again, the 205 was not hot enough. I could have went 210, but I like 215 for most PLAs. It prints much easier and much quicker because I have that set to 80 millimeters a second, so I need it to be hotter so it can push out the filament faster. And it just works really, really well that way. You probably could do it if you're printing on like a Select Mini, MP Select Mini, and you're only printing at 40 or 50 millimeters a second. Yes, 190, 195 probably would be okay for you, but because I print so fast, I have to have my filament at a hotter temperature. There's not much stringing ever with these filaments when I print that fast and with that high of a temperature, simply because it doesn't have a chance. And I like my retraction settings, so there's no harm in that. You can pick this up on their website. I'll put a link down below. This is not an affiliate link. This is not an affiliate program. H&H sent me this filament for free for me to review, and I greatly appreciate them doing that. There's also a video, I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but there's also a video kind of how they started up. This is 2 guys basically in a garage that are making this filament, and it's made in the USA, so rock on, you guys. I'll link the video down there. Please give it a look over. I believe someone did like a news article on them is what it was about. I'll have to find it again. I watched it a long time ago when I actually asked for filament, which was like 5 months ago. So again, thank you to you guys, and thank you to you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Again, if you want to pick this up, I'll put the links down below, and do check it out. It's pretty good. So if you guys liked the video, please give it a like. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Let me know down below why you didn't. If you want to subscribe to my channel, there's going to be a button showing up over here. You can hit that and know when I have a video coming out. Looking for 1,000 subscribers for my next milestone, and probably a giveaway. So please do that, and I greatly appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, you can do that a couple ways. Patreon link's going to be here. Donate me $1 or more. Thank you for your patronage, and for you current Patreons, thank you guys. It all comes in to help me. Trust me, it really does help with all this. I have affiliate links down below for Amazon and MakerGeek. Please use those. Amazon has been an amazing source. Thank you guys so much for using that. It is crazy. So thank you so much for doing that. And as always, guys, happy printing.